Welcome back. We got our door handle that is really loose. That's almost ready to get ripped out of the door. All right, let's replace the door handle. Door panel removal, real quick. If you have manual windows, you need this little tool to push the little clip off to get your window crank off. You need to remove this cover, pry it off. There is a screw here, a screw there. You have this plastic cover, it comes off, pry that off. There's a screw there and a screw there. Need to pry off this cover here too. Pry off the door from the bottom, it's on these pins with a screwdriver or a prying tool, and then the whole panel can be lifted off and taken out of the way. Peel back the plastic to gain access to the door. And there is a rubber plug here you got to pop out, and another one there to get to the bolts that are at the back of the handle. Top bolt and the bottom bolt. That's the one that's broken off from the handle. You got a new GM handle. We're going to have to take the lock cylinder out of the old one and put it back into the new one and disconnect the rod here and another rod in there. Made in Canada, eh? To give us a little more room, we're going to remove this bolt right here that holds this whole track assembly in. All right, we have the track just pulled forward over here. It doesn't really want to get off from the top. I don't know how it's attached. It's like hooked on there, but we haven't moved out of our way. This bolt here is still attached to the plastic, but as you can see in my situation, it busted off from the handle. So we're just going to loosen up the top one right now. Probably going to drop this bolt into the door. Oh, I got it. All right. There is sealant around the original one. I'll kind of pry it out. We got it kind of loose here now. We have to get the arms disconnected from there. And still have to deal with that metal piece that's still stuck on. Let me see if I can get that off. All right, it'll take a lot of jiggling to get this out. You're gonna have to kind of twist it out this way and kind of lift it up and then over to get it removed. This is where our handle failed. Broke right off over here, so we'll have to hold this with a pair of pliers and get that nut off because we're gonna need that. That door track is still loose in there. The only really way to get it out, I think the glass needs to be out because you can't lift it to get it out of the way. So we will struggle and get past. The linkage pieces where they end on the handle cannot be disconnected by the handle. The handle needs to be twisted at a severe angle to have them pop out of the hole. The clip down on the bottom over there, the yellow clip, I don't want to mess around too much with that because if it breaks and I can't get it to reattach itself, you'll have no functioning handle. So what we're going to do is I'm going to pop the lock cylinder out. I already have it loose already. With the door handle out here, you're able to push, if I can show you, you're able to push into the little hole that's there to release the clip. And as you can see, our lock just fell down. So now I could mess around with this handle here. It needs to be twisted like this to come up and off. Our door lock is sitting in there now. We'd never disconnected any portion of it, so we're gonna just pop that back in place into the new handle once the new handle is kind of situated here. So we're gonna get the new handle on and then push the lock back in. And the lock handle on the bottom, there's a little green colored one or orange, sorry, down in there. There's really no way to get in there and pry on it. The orange one in there to pop that off. And then if I did, maybe it won't stay on there and then my lock won't work. So this is what we do. Push out the lock cylinder and then get the handle disconnected. Here's a close-up of the bottom of the lock. You need to push on that little clip right there with a flat-bladed screwdriver. That would be right into that hole right here, and then the lock will come right out. I'll feed the new handle in. There we go. Get that mostly in like this. And then we will get our lock cylinder ready to push it in from the back. Let's get it in position where we need it. All right, we got the lock starting to slide in there. Let's get it clipped in. Just push it in. It should clip in place. It's snapped in place. We're gonna get our key afterwards and test it before we close this whole thing up. Let's get this moved out of the way again and get that bracket back in. But first, we have to remove the broken piece over here. Now here comes the fun part, trying to get this thing back in. It needs to go underneath this, slide over, and then plop onto the studs that are there. This is the old handle. But you got that window track that's right here, so you got to kind of get it behind that and jiggle that thing around to get it to plop into place. I don't know how I got it out. I was just wiggling it around, picking it up this way and picked it out. So that's what we're going to try to do, get it down, drop down from the top, and then clip it. Sorry I can't show you how to do it because you won't be able to see anything. Just got to do it by feel. You need 3 hands to get that thing back in. You got to drop it in kind of from the top and twist it around. Move the window track back and forth out of your way to make sure you get behind it. Now we can get the bolts in and tighten it up. We got our bolts tightened there. We have our bolt back in the window track. Let's run the window down, make sure it works okay. Yes, that's good. Test our lock with a key. We don't have any fancy power locks in this. Everything is manual. All right, very good. Let's give the door a close. We have our window open just to make sure. Oh yeah, that's a beautiful thing. Just got to put the panel back on and finish this job up. Now, if you like this video and it helped you out, please do me a small favor. Like, subscribe, and thank you for watching. Don't forget your rubber caps. I picked the hottest day of the year to do this. Thankfully, the sun's going down. And ready for a new adventure. Awesome.